Today we're going to be setting up the Tetra RYZ by HHA. It's a 2-pin adjustable sight. Although it's not the newest sight by HHA, it's still a great sight. I found this one on eBay for $212 free shipping, so definitely worth that price. So HHA is super easy to set sights up. They come with a sight tape already on them. You just bottom the sight all the way out to 0 and start. I'm gonna start about, I don't know, 10 yards, point blank basically, just to make sure it's not way off. And we'll see where it's at and go from there. Here we go. It's about 6 inches low at 10 yards. With it still at 0, you don't want to adjust the sight up or down. You want to move the actual housing itself. So we're gonna go down. A little looser. We're gonna go down. Whoa, not that far. Down a few lines. Always want to chase your arrow. See where that is. Up a little bit. Go about the same distance because it was maybe halfway between. Still not quite there. There we go. All right, step 2. 20 yards. I took time and made sure that block's at exactly 20 yards. This is one of the most critical steps in this whole process. You want to make sure this thing is dialed at 20. You're left and right, you're up and down. I mean, because you got to move out to 60 to get your final sight. So you want everything on at 20. I'm gonna shoot a few times. It's right in there. It hit slightly left both times, so I'm gonna move the sight left. Looks better. Looks like we got some thunderstorms brewing. I'm gonna shoot one more block. Pulled that one a little. I think that's good. All right, step 3. Got your 20 dialed. I backed the target up a little ways. Now we're actually gonna move the sight. At this point, we need to walk out to 60. So I'm just gonna shoot, hit the target, and if I'm on it, not super high or low, move it out, roll the sight again. Don't have to move it a whole lot at first. Onward. Okay, move the target, move the sight. Probably around 40 yards, I'm guessing. Hit a little high. So I'm just gonna move the sight out a little bit and not adjust. Or move the target out a little bit and not adjust the sight. 43. Kind of punched it there and still hit well. All right, sight adjustment. Got hit a little high. Very top of the target. All right, I'm not going to adjust the sight this time. About 52 now. So I walked it out about 8 paces. I'm getting like 59.6 with the sight. See where it's at. Right in there. All right, I moved it back a little ways. Now I'm getting 60 pretty consistently. Let me shoot another one. A little low. So now that I'm out to 60, I know I'm at 60, I'll start shooting more than that one arrow. A little right and low. Definitely low. My left to right's fading, but I'm gonna go down. Try 51. That looks better. 52. A little higher. Last arrow. Just gonna go with a follow-up. It's in there. So now you take this number, whatever you landed on. In this case, there's 2 indicators. I'm using the top pin. So whatever that number is, once you fine tune this, if you have to go back to 20, go back to 20, recheck it. Now you know where you're close to at 60. So you can bring the target back to 20 yards, roll this back to 0, shoot at 20 again, bring it back out, in my case, to 52, and that will be your 60-ish. Shoot again, and just make sure, because this number is going to be the number of your sight tape. What I do is I cover this up. I just roll it back to 0, get the sight tape under these little tabs, make sure 0's right at 20, and you're good to go. Then you can just range it, whatever it is, roll the dial to that yardage and let it rip. That's how you set up every HHA sight. Super easy. And yeah, make sure when you're moving out, you know, I go like 5-ish yards at a time, just real slow. You know, adjust my sight a little bit, find your 60. You can go from 20 to 60 if you want, but give me some heavy guesswork.